What's up, people? Welcome back to the Minecraft survival world. Last episode, we built up some stables over here and we built a bunch of custom trees. Yesterday, I sat here for like 15 minutes just admiring how nice this looks. And as you guys can tell, for those of you who didn't notice, I turned fog back on. When we went into the Nether, I turned it off just because it makes it a little easier to see the biomes in the distance. But when we're back in the overworld here, it looks so much better having the fog on, especially with the windmill and the two trees off to the sides, and even a little mountain over there. Just wanted to say thank you real quick before we jump into the episode for all the love and support you guys have been showing me. The channel is doing so great, and that wouldn't be happening without you guys. And for those of you who want to support, maybe just leave a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. And if you're really nice, you might turn on that notification bell. But let's get on with the episode. Right over here, you guys will see I built a little bit of a to-do board, and this is going to be the general plan for today's episode. First off, we're going to be building a pumpkin and melon farm underneath the windmill building, and then the interior is going to get finished off, and that's where our storage is going to be for this farm. Next up, we're going to jump into the Nether, do a little bit of exploring, hopefully find a fortress, and we are going to build a blaze farm. And these blaze farms look so good. It's like a big glass cube, and they have pretty insane rates. Next up, we're going to build a portal in the Nether that's going to connect from our village to our home base. We're going to build a tunnel to bring those guys back, build a villager breeder, and a building to go around it, because villager breeders don't normally look very good. But that is a pretty busy schedule for this week's episode, so we got to jump right into it. So I got all the blocks together that we're going to need for this pumpkin and melon farm in this chest right here. So let's grab all this stuff. I also got a fresh stack of steak ready to be eaten for today's episode. So the first thing we're going to want to do for this farm is build a 10 by 10 hole, and I want it to be pretty much completely hidden like the honeycomb farm over there. So I'm thinking we start somewhere right about here, and we'll just go, let's say, what is that, 5 blocks? Let's go 6 blocks down just so we hit the stone. So I've got our little 10 by 10 pit completely dug out here, and also a little area that a water elevator is going to go in to bring items up into the windmill. Inside the windmill is going to be our storage room. I think it's a perfect opportunity and use of space. So the first thing we're going to do here is underneath each one of these cobblestone blocks is a redstone torch. We're going to place a block right back here, powered rail right there, and powered rail right there, and then normal rails along this part. To make sure this is plenty of powered rails, we're just going to place a minecart on this, and if it goes all the way along without stopping, it is plenty, which it obviously is. It's actually moving a lot quicker than I thought it would. Next up, we're just placing some dirt over every single rail because that's where the minecart hopper is going to pick up items from this farm, and also going to be where the melons and pumpkins are actually grown. And then right in this middle block right here, we're going to place a slab, and that's where the water source is going to be. Next up, I got to do the observers and the pistons. Now you may be wondering why I am placing dirt along here. It's because I need to go under these blocks and place the pistons facing down. And for that, I'm going to be using the trapdoor method. Now we got our pistons and observers, which we might need a little more observers, but I ran out of quartz, and that involves going into the Nether and getting more quartz. So hopefully we don't need more. Whoop, we ran out of observers, so I got to go run into the Nether real quick and collect a little bit of Nether quartz. To the Nether we shall go. We got some Nether quartz right here, but of course it seems like that might only be one. We got some more Nether quartz right here, and of course I didn't bring my fortune pickaxe, which I probably should have done because that would make this process a lot quicker. Whatever though, it's too late now. Or is it? No, it definitely is. Some more quartz right here. Right, we're up to 12 quartz, and I think we need 15. This should be the last quartz we need right here, so let's just grab it. There should be a good amount right here. I think it was 6. Yeah, looks like it was. So we're up to 17, and that is enough. Would you look at that, guys? There's a Nether fortress right there, and I was saying let's go out and explore and hopefully find one, and it looks like we got one right in front of us. Don't worry though, we'll still do some Nether exploring. Maybe find a bastion or 2. Who knows? But let's get out of here. We're back from the Nether, and I did end up getting ourselves some glowstone. So we want to place a dirt block right there, and then we want to place some glowstone right there. And let's place in the rest of these observers. Next up, over every observer, we want to place a block, and over every piston, we want to put some redstone. And with all of those guys placed in, that should be pretty much all of the redstone for the farm. Now for me, I still got to build a water elevator, so that's also included. Now that all the seeds are placed in, you guys can definitely see how many items are collecting here, which means we need to get the collecting system all finished up. So the way we're going to build this transport system isn't going to be the most efficient, but as you guys saw in last episode, I am not very confident in my redstone abilities. So first off, we want to take a dropper, and we're going to face the dropper this way right here, and that's going to kick items up that way with a little bit of soul sand action. And then next up, we're going to put a hopper right there facing into the dropper, and then a comparator facing out this way. Now right back here, we're going to do a redstone clock, and to have these things running in your world constantly isn't great for lag if you're trying to keep an eye on that, But for us, I don't really care about it right now, just because I'm not worried about lag. Now we just want to dig down a few blocks here to bring the redstone down here. We're going to put the sticky piston right there, some redstone facing right into it. So if we put blocks in here, the piston should extend, which it is. Now we're going to take a full block, place it right there, and then extend the line from this right to there. And then from this block right here, we want to extend the line a little bit more, and then we can face it right into the dropper. So now if we actually put, let's say, a full stack of cobblestone, that lifts up, and you can actually hear the dispenser firing. But then if we take the cobblestone out, it stops firing, so we won't constantly have the clicking noise in our world. Now this is definitely an interesting mechanism here, but it does work, so I'm just gonna let it be for now. But there is a stack of items in that hopper right now, and once it clears out, this torch should light up, which will also light up this powered rail. So I'm just gonna take some blocks out of here, and it should light back up right now, and perfect. So the water elevator is nearly finished up. We just need to bring this a few blocks higher, and let's actually get rid of the cobblestone inside the building here. All the blocks are gone, and now we just gotta bring this elevator a little bit higher up, and I did bring some glass with me to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So then we're gonna assume the chests are gonna go right here, so let's just build these guys up a little bit, and actually we gotta get on top of them so we can actually place them all the way up. And now we have a water elevator, and we just wanna block off these top few blocks to make sure the items don't flow out of it. And just like that, our farm is all finished up. It looks like a majority of the items are going this way. My hope was that it would go 50-50 between the two. We are getting some items in these chests, but most of them are going in these ones. So I ended up changing the collection system a little bit here because before it wasn't very efficient and it wouldn't work that well. So instead of having two streams that go one off this way and one off that way, I have it doing a little bit of a U shape here, and that should direct the items a lot better. As you guys can see here, the farm is working quite well. Now that the farm is all finished up, we can come over here and get rid of the sign that has Pumpkin Melon Farm. Next up is we need to finish the interior of the windmill. But before we jump into that, I had some comments down below of people asking for the seed. So here it is right there. You guys can either take a photo or a screenshot of it. I'll probably throw it down in the description of the videos from now on. So I got ourselves a bunch of blocks and items here for this interior. And first things first, let's rip out this grass floor and put in some granite. Next up, we want to add some working space for the people that will be working here, aka the villagers. So let's take some spruce logs, do something a little bit like that. And then we're also going to take some trapdoors and put them on some of the edges just because it gives it a little bit of detail. Now we're going to want to do a little loft where the villager can sleep in, so I think we're going to do it off to this side. To add some greenery to this place, let's put a fence right there and stack 2 birch leaves on top of it, and that looks nice right there. And we're also going to do one on this corner also, so like that right there. Now the second sign can come down. Next up, let's go do some exploring. Before we jump into the nether, I want to do a bunch of block collecting because we're going to need like 10 or 11 stacks of glass for this blaze farm, and I really want to have it ready to go, so once we find a spawner, we can get building on this guy. And maybe if we're lucky enough, we can get 3 wither skulls. I don't think I quite have enough iron yet though to make a beacon. No, definitely not. I only got 27 blocks of iron, and I think we need like 3 stacks for a full beacon. Yeah, not even close. I guess that just means we need an iron farm. So now it's time we actually hop over to the nether, but before we do that, one thing I do want to do is actually go over to the nearest village and place a portal down. The reason we're going to do this is because it's a lot easier to transport villagers via minecart through the nether, because 1 block in the nether is 8 blocks in the overworld, so we don't have to build as many minecarts, or as long as a tunnel. So I just arrived at the village and I want to check what houses villagers are in, because if there is villagers in there, we want to trap them in to make sure that they don't die at nighttime. So something we want to do is place the portal at the same level our portal is back at base to make sure we can just dig a straight tunnel and we don't have to go up and down at all. We can just do our obsidian and some grass in the corners. So I do have some golden boots on right now, so if we do run into some piglins, hopefully they won't kill us. So let's jump through this portal, have our sword ready to go, and see what is on the other side. Oh my gosh, it's another basalt delta. Are you kidding me? Okay, we gotta go back through. That's not good. That's not good. And I guess this nether spawn isn't much better than ours back at base. So I did just notice we are at height 81, which we cannot be at because back at our normal portal, it is 64. I'm guessing that happened because there's no open blocks below us. So we're gonna have to dig down and build this portal down there. So I got the portal rebuilt in the correct spot now. So if we light this, it should match up with the portal back at home. So let's jump through this guy real quick. Please line up, please line up. And it looks like it does, but let's go back through because it is nighttime and I'm not trying to die right now. So next up, we need to build a tunnel that goes to the other nether portal because that one connects to our base portal. Luckily, I did take a picture of the coordinates. So now that we got a tunnel connecting our two portals, we can actually start exploring the Nether. With the tunnel dug connecting the two portals, I ran straight over to the Nether fortress we found earlier and started to do some exploring. Sadly, I died right at the beginning of exploring to a wither skeleton. Thinking all of my items were going to despawn before I got there, I ran as quickly as possible and everything was still there. The only two things that were missing were my sword and my pickaxe, but luckily they were just sitting down below on some soul sand. Continuing to explore, I found a blaze spawner right at the beginning, and I took a good glance at it and realized it's not a good applicant for our blaze farm. So with my fingers crossed, I kept exploring, hoping I can find another spawner. Luckily, I did find one, and this would be the perfect applicant for the farm. But instead of jumping straight into building that, I decided to keep exploring because I was in an exploring mood. And I also wanted to find some nether wart, which I did, and the nether wart would be used to make some fire resistance potions in the future, so when I'm building the farm, I can't get caught on fire. There was a bunch of nether wart, and there was 2 rooms holding all of it. I kept exploring, and I found 2 chests, and I thought it was really funny because I found a diamond, and that diamond is the only one we have to our name. I did a little bit more running around the fortress to see if it had anything else to offer, and there was nothing. It was a pretty plain fortress, but it did have the blaze spawner that we needed. So I made my way back towards base so I can make those fire resistance potions, and then I headed back into the Nether to get started. I gathered up all my items, made a little crafting station for us at the farm, and began to work. But with that being said, I'm sure you guys are over my voice, so let's cue the music. This farm design is by Shulkercraft, and it stands out to me the most just because it's a big glass cube and I love the way it looks. If you're able to find a double spawner and you have 2 of these glass cubes next to each other, it is so unique looking. We just hit level 30, which means we can do an enchantment. Oh yeah, from back here, this farm is looking so cool. The only issue is I don't have a good way back to base. It's pretty dangerous to run all the way back. Luckily, I still have a few fire resistance potions left, so I can just kind of book it through the entire fortress and over all of the bridges. So I just finished getting our inventory completely cleared out from this blaze farm, and I was thinking, are we done in the Nether yet? And no, we aren't. Now that we have the fire resistance potions, I'm thinking we're gonna expand that tunnel that goes between the 2 Nether portals. I think it'll make it a little bit easier if the tunnel's a 3x3 instead of a 1x3 to get villagers through it. Luckily, it shouldn't be too hard because I have this part of the tunnel already dug. And just like that, we have a 3x3 tunnel going from the portal at our base to the portal at the village. Just because I'm a little OCD, I do want to turn these portals into 3x3s so it fits the tunnel properly. Every 8 rails, I'm doing 1 power rail, which should be plenty of powered rails to get the villagers along this tunnel. Luckily, it didn't take too much iron or gold to make all these rails, nor redstone. It only took like 24 redstone torches and 24 rails to get it done. With all the digging and placing done, we have our tunnel completely finished. It's pretty much ready for some villagers to come along through here, but I'm gonna wait on that and get the breeder built first. The design we're gonna be using is Logical Geek Boys. It works super well and I've used it in my past worlds. Not very resource heavy too. So I'm gonna build the breeder right up here, and it's gonna sit a few blocks into the mountain, but just show enough where you can see into it. And then on top of that, I'm thinking we're gonna do a town hall style building with 2 towers off to the sides with roofs that kind of look a little bit like that. I want this building to attract your eye when you look at the village. Especially when you're down on that pathway, you'll be looking right up at it. And something that I haven't done before that I think is a good idea, I'm actually going to build the trees while I'm building the town hall itself, so I don't have to come back around and build another 15 trees. Because man, that was not fun. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Once all these crops are placed in, the villager breeder will be completely finished. And that is the last crop. Now all we need in this guy are some villagers. In these things, I'm pretty sure you can use any crop you want. It can be wheat, potatoes, carrots, beetroot. As long as the villagers throw them back and forth to each other and do some breeding, it will work. And that's all we have left, is to get some villagers in here. I really didn't detail this thing out too much because we still need to build a town hall on top of this, and I really didn't want to do detailing and then have to break it all down because it doesn't fit with the building. Hence why the roof is just kind of a grass pad. No, why? Why is there rain? Well, I guess that means it's a perfect time to hop into the Nether. I guess since we have this rail line, we might as well take it over to the village and let's see how fast this thing moves. I think I did too many powered rails, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter to me. It's a nice consistent speed all the way through. And will we go through the portal if we hit it? No, we don't, because we went right past it. So let's hop out of this guy, and I guess the minecart went through the portal without us. Oh, yep, it's right there. All right, let's grab that guy and go grab some villagers. Oh my gosh, the minecart went back through the portal again. All right, I finally got the minecart back in our inventory, and there should be some villagers right down here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we got none in this house, but I thought I saw some wandering around here last time I was at this village. Okay, there's some villagers in here, but I think they were both babies. Yeah, they were. So let's just close that door and leave them in there for now. And I guess what I'm gonna do is just tower up to the house up here, and hopefully there's an adult villager sitting up here. Maybe in this one? Okay, yeah, there's an adult villager in there. Perfect. Let's throw the minecart right there, and then just push this guy near it. Okay, perfect. For now, I'm gonna block that guy in while I create a pathway for him to get down this mountain. Actually, it might be easier just to bridge straight across. Yeah, you know, we're just gonna do that. While I was building, I saw a villager kind of jumping between the mountains, so I actually stopped building the bridge right there and grabbed this guy just because he is so close to the portal. So let's give him a good push, and he should make it all the way to those powered rails, only if he actually wants to get on this rail. Push him a little bit, get him just right over there, and he should be safer in the Nether. All right, that is perfect. Is he gonna go through? Do they not go through when they're in a minecart? Oh, that might make this process a little bit harder. All right, I'm gonna go through first, and I'm just gonna kind of close this thing in so he has nowhere to jump. All right, so we got dirt on that entire side of the portal, and we're just gonna go through and do something a little bit like that. Now let's break this minecart and just see what happens. All right, please work, please work. All right, he is in the Nether, perfect. All right, now we can just take a minecart and we can just grab him like, let's say, how do I want to do this? Like that, come on guy, you can get in there, get in the minecart, perfect. Ooh, we don't want him to die. Okay, let's just stop him real quick. That is perfect. All right, yeah, we just want to leave him right about there. Time to go grab the other villager. Ooh, and night is falling. That is not good. Okay, I got to make my way down this mountain and find a bed. All right, hopefully that should be enough powered rails. That's almost 23 in a row, but we just got to break this right here and place a rail and give him a good push. All right, you just got to hit that powered rail guy. Okay, perfect. I think he's going to make it the whole way. That should be enough powered rails to get him up. All right, it seems like he did make it all the way. We just got to give him that push back towards the portal and break that minecart. So let's just do that right there. And now he's in the Nether. Perfect. Grab this minecart right there and give him a little push. No, get out of the portal, buddy. I don't need you to teleport, guy. Maybe it would just be smart to block it off a little bit. Perfect. All right, we got him in the minecart. Let's break those right there and give him another push right back onto there. Perfect. Now we have our two villagers, and I think it's time for a little bit of cleanup because this village looks like an absolute mess. Oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Cleanup is now all finished up, so I'm just going back to our base and getting a rail line set up from the portal to the actual villager breeder. Now all I have to do is break these minecarts. Let's make sure we don't hit any of them. Okay, I don't want to go through the portal. Okay, I don't want to go through the portal. Maybe we'll do it from right back here. Yeah, this should work, so let's just do that right there. That guy is now in the portal. And we'll do one at a time. It should make it a little bit easier. So we just got to place the minecart right there and then give him a little push into it. Oh, no, don't go away, don't go away, don't go away. I don't need that going away. Okay, maybe it might be easier if I do something like this. So let's just break that, and then let's send the minecart up there, and maybe it should catch him. Okay, perfect, that worked. And let's just give him a little push, and he should make it all the way to the breeder. Something like that. Let's just make sure he gets there. Yep, and it seems like he did. On to the next one. And this is exactly what we wanted. One of the villagers is a farmer, and the other one does not have a profession. Now we just gotta find a way out of here, because this door has glass in front of it now. All right, we just gotta do this very, very smart. Put the glass right here, right there, and then place it really quickly. Okay, we're all good. There should be no way for any mobs to get in there. It should be all mob proof with all the lighting we got. Now let's clean up the village a little bit. To speed this process up just a little bit, I'm gonna throw some bread down in there and they should pick it up and start trading it back and forth with each other. Luckily, we have the glass in the front so we can see them doing it, and yes, they are throwing it back and forth. One thing I did forget to mention is this breeder isn't exactly like Logical Geek Boys. I had to change it up just a little bit because on the other side of this wall by like 2 blocks is where our nether portal is. Oh, look at that, guys. We already have a baby bread. That is so awesome. This is gonna work perfectly. I'm probably gonna spend the next hour and a half building up a town hall, and this thing's gonna be breeding up some baby villagers the whole time. I did want to check real quick. How's our pumpkin and melon farm doing? Oh yeah, it's doing pretty good. We got over 5 stacks of pumpkins, and obviously melon slices. There's a lot more of them, and we've almost filled up half of this chest with just melon slices. But to bed we go. Now that the villagers are in the breeder, I think it's time we start work on this town hall. I think I'm probably gonna put a storage room in here too, just because it has the best view of the mountain, and I love how it overlooks the village. But with that being said, let's cue the time lapse and make sure to throw some shaders on this one. So the town hall is nearly finished up. There's just a little bit more work to do around the edges. Sadly, I ran out of time though. I would love to get the small little details all finished up, which I might do in between episodes, but I just don't have the time to film it and then upload this episode and make sure it's up in time. But with the little bit of time I do have left, I do love how this thing is turning out. We have the 2 towers. We have one built out of diorite and calcite, and the other is brick and granite. I did add a little bit of dirt in there. It doesn't look super good up close, but from a distance, it adds so much detail. But with time running short here and all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We're gonna have to call it here because like I said, I'm running out of time. I think out of every episode so far in this series, I think this is the one we got the most progress done. I mean, shoot, we got ourselves an auto melon and pumpkin farm. We also decorated the inside of the windmill. Then we headed over to the nether, did a little bit of exploring, got ourselves some blaze rods and nether wart. So now we can do some brewing. And then we dug a tunnel to get to the village to make it a lot easier because it's so much easier traveling through the nether. And then to finish off today's episode, we obviously built that town hall. It's not completely done yet, but it is almost there. And if you guys want to see the finished product of that town hall, you guys will have to join me in episode 8. But thank you guys for watching so much, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one.